Welcome to Tim's Old School Perspectives. Well, since yesterday when Sidney Powell released the Kraken on Michigan, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson seems to be a font of misinformation and obstruction. You would think she'd want to set the record straight by appearing before the House Oversight Committee, but they will not be hearing from her as she has declined to show up, although she had said previously she would. She's concerned that the Oversight Committee is amplifying already debunked conspiracy theories and previously disproven claims of people who lack basic knowledge of election administration, and in doing so, undermining the integrity of the election and wounding our democracy. Well, if you'd think if somebody was wounding democracy that the first person that'd want to step up and defend it would be the Secretary of State, but no, instead she decides to stay home. But I think that the problem is that the deeper this gets, the deeper she's in over her head. And so this Jocelyn Benson, along with Whitmer and some of these people that Michigan has put in office, makes me feel bad for the good people in that great state. And it shows you the corruption that probably went into getting them elected also. So State Representative Matt Hall, who is the chairman of the Oversight Committee, has accused Benson of flip-flopping, which of course she has, because she had earlier promised to testify. Now she realizes that she's got too many layers of lies that she's going to have to cover up, and so she's ducking and dodging. So the House Oversight Committee began looking into the process for this year's election in November. The Republican leaders say that the hearings are meant to maintain trust and transparency with Michigan's election process. Well, trust and transparency is apparently something that Jocelyn Benson is not interested in, and certainly her buddy Whitmer is not either. The National Pulse can reveal that Michigan's Secretary of State Benson, who's currently obstructing efforts to investigate the elections, developed ties with Chinese state-run universities and trained lawyers for the Chinese Communist Party, even delivering a lecture at Chinese Premier Xi Jinping's alma mater. Benson undertook this work aiding Chinese Communist Party while serving as the dean of Wayne Law School in Detroit, Michigan. Benson, who oversaw a state allegedly riddled with problems, told the county clerks to destroy certain election data and software, and she has visited China in 2013 in an attempt to court students from Chinese Communist Party-run universities into studying at Wayne State University's law school, where I'm sure they would feel right at home. So Wayne State's website maintains that the press release from 2013 describes her efforts to link up with the Communist Party as vigorous. The quote is, "A growing number of students from China are expected to study at Wayne State University Law School in 2014, a result of the school's decision to offer a master's degree in U.S. law and its vigorous outreach efforts to promote it." Well, that's interesting. Nothing like some close ties to the Chinese Communist Party to give you credibility with red-blooded Americans, is there? Allegedly, Benson wanted to provide individuals who could work in Chinese government ministries involved in negotiations with the United States with legal training from her Detroit-based institution. My, just what we need is people in the Chinese Communist Party well-versed in U.S. law so they can come over here and help us become a communist nation. According to this source, Wayne's new master's degree program in U.S. law is designed for outstanding law students from other countries. Wow, which other countries? This will be an attractive program for students who seek to practice law in the United States, transitional law in their home countries, who may work in government ministries involved in negotiations with the United States, or who intended to work on advanced degrees and career as scholars. Unquote. Well, Miss Benson appears to be a dyed-in-the-wool commie. That's just all I can say about that. And it is no wonder that we've got what we've got going on in the great state of Michigan. So to follow up on the Sidney Powell story that I had put out yesterday, Sidney Powell tweeted out late last night that the SCOTUS is doing everything that they can to drag their feet on this case here in Michigan. They're dragging their feet by not even requiring the state to respond until January the 14th. So that being put out in Sidney Powell's tweet tells me that the Supreme Court is not really very interested in getting to the bottom of things until it's too late, and that's problematic. I just wonder what the Supreme Court's going to do. I mean, they've put the Kraken in timeout. But the problem is, once the Kraken's not in timeout, what are they going to do? The story is going to come out on them. Let's say that inauguration day has already happened and Joe Biden's in office, and now the Supreme Court is stuck with this case that they're going to be in a lot of trouble with. The truth is going to be there. They're not going to be able to hide. They're not going to be able to duck and dodge or obstruct. And so eventually the whole story will come out, and the Supreme Court is going to be looking really, really bad in history if they don't be careful. And so the fact of the matter remains then that Sidney Powell's story is out, and they're going to have to deal with it. And so we'll just have to see what happens on that. But that's what I have for today. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you in a while.